And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Before we do get into today's video, as always, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. So I hope you guys are all well. We have a lot to discuss in today's video, which it does include a player that has left the club, pretty much confirmed now, pretty much a done deal. Very frustrating story, but we'll get into that in just a second. But I do want to discuss a player that's been linked to Celtic and could potentially come in to replace the retired Joe Hart. That, of course, is Martin Dubravka. He played yesterday as Slovakia fell to a 2-1 defeat at the hands of England. A very undeserved victory, in my opinion. I watched the game yesterday. First of all, it was very boring. I actually fell asleep for the first half, which kind of speaks volumes. I actually missed Slovakia goal. And then the second half was not much better, let's be completely honest. We got very lucky with Jude Bellingham scoring a bicycle kick. But Martin Dubravka, for me, I thought he had a pretty decent game. He made a couple of good saves. I mean, there wasn't really much to do for him, I suppose, in the first 85 minutes, whatever it was, the first 90 minutes. But he looked pretty composed in the box, did pretty well. And it's a shame that I guess he didn't really get to see his team progress go any further. But it could be good news for Celtic because now his attention will focus on his club career and see where his future lies. So obviously he currently plays for Newcastle. He is 35 years old. He's a very seasoned goalkeeper and he did showcase his quality throughout the Euros of how good he is despite his age. Maybe people might think he's too old to join Celtic. I don't think that's the case whatsoever. I think he's a good option for us for a couple of years to fill the gap of Joe Hart. But yeah, he helped his nation surpass their expectations and get out of the group stages. So definitely a good campaign for him, all things considered. So yeah, back at club level, Dubravka does find himself at crossroads. Newcastle are keen to freshen up their goalkeeping department and are reportedly eyeing up a younger goalkeeper to challenge Nick Pope, who struggled with injuries last season. And that basically means that Dubravka's days at St James's Park might be numbered. So TalkSport have previously reported that Newcastle is open to letting Dubravka move if he wishes to seek new opportunities. He has 1 year left on his current contract on Tyneside, and apparently his desire is to leave the club, and of course Newcastle want a new keeper as well, so things kind of match up in that situation right there, and he'll be looking elsewhere sooner rather than later. So of course we personally are on the hunt for a successor to the retired Joe Hart, and Dubravka has been one of the names touted to join us. Now for me, I think Dubravka would be a good signing. I think he would do a very good job at Celtic. Of course, he's definitely not a long-term replacement for Joe Hart, but if the club are struggling to find someone they want to be the long-term replacement, I think Dubravka could be a good option for the next 2-3 years until he gets to that retirement age himself. So I do think it could be a good signing for us. And I do think it'll be very cheap. I mean, he's got a year left in his contract. Will Newcastle want any transfer fee for him? I'm not too sure, but it won't be very much if they do. So it could be a good option for the next few seasons for sure. And I think there could be worse signings to be made in the goalkeeper department. Of course, this is still just speculation. As it is with Celtic, there's been no real concrete transfer news with incomings, which is really frustrating because we know we need to strengthen this team because it's not good enough really to compete in Europe, and we want to get some first-team quality players in through the door. And I do think Dubravka could be just that for us in the goalkeeping area, and I think he'll be the first of a few signings we need to make that would walk straight into the first team, of course. But yeah, no real concrete talks right now. It's all speculation, but I think he could be a good option to replace the retired Joe Hart. So let me know your thoughts with regards to that potential transfer. Do you think Dubravka could be a good alternative to Joe Hart? Yes or no? Now let's discuss a player that will leave the club, and that is Rocco Vata. His contract with Celtic approaches its expiration at midnight yesterday, so it's actually done and dusted now. The young forward is reportedly in advanced talks with Watford regarding a potential move. This development makes it increasingly likely that he will now leave Celtic. So currently he's a free agent technically because his contract just expired this midnight. So we tried our best. We offered him a contract offer to kind of show desire that we want to keep him at the club. However, according to Sky Sports, it appears increasingly unlikely that an agreement will be made between the two parties. I think it's probably due to the lack of his first team minutes and opportunities that he's had throughout the last few years. That could be a significant factor in his decision to explore options elsewhere, seeking more consistent playing time and developing more opportunities. So it's a shame, and it looks like now that Watford will be the side to actually get to Rocco Vata. They are the team leading the race for him, which is really frustrating. Of course, they play in the English Championship. They seem to have offered him a better step up or better pathway into the first team for them. So this could be a very crucial move for Vata in his career. Will he get first team football at Watford? We have to wait and see with that. We all know Rocket is a Celtic fan, but he obviously believes that at this stage in his career he has served best elsewhere, which really is sad to see. I mean, he's a childhood Celtic fan, he loves the club, but he just knows that the opportunities at the club haven't been enough for him, and he backs himself to make that move to the Championship, which is quite cool to see, but very frustrating from a Celtic point of view. We do find it quite difficult to hold on to young talent. Either they're poached away before they make a real impact, or they get frustrated with first team opportunities, which seems to be a regular pattern at Celtic in the last few years. And something does need to change, because Rocco Vata is a player with lots and lots of potential. He could be a very good player, and I think Watford will get the best out of him if he gets a chance in the first team. He obviously clearly does back his ability to do just that, and you have to kind of, tip your hat to him a little bit for that. He wants to leave. He doesn't care about his loyalties to Celtic. In fact, he cares more about his playing time. He wants to get regular first team football at a senior level, and you have to respect it. I mean, we had so many opportunities to maybe give him game time throughout the season. We just didn't do it, which really is frustrating. There's another young player that's gone. He won't sign a new contract to Celtic. It looks very unlikely. I'll be very surprised if that is the case. The contract offer's there, but it looks like Watford will lead the race and will sign him as things stand right now. Agreement has been pretty much made with those two parties. So, yeah, really annoying. But yeah, I do wish him the best, of course. There's gonna be no buyback option, because it's kind of basically a free transfer now. So there's no buyback option. There's no sell-on fee for him. I'm not sure if there's anything inserted in his old contract beforehand. I'm not too sure, but it wouldn't matter anyway if his contract expired. So yeah, not a good bit of business from Celtic. They're really poor. Hopefully this is the last we see of this, because it's just frustrating to see some really good young players leave on the cheap, or in this case on free. Not good whatsoever. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on everything we discussed in today's video. Are you keen for Martin Dubravka to replace Joe Hart? Is he a good successor in your opinion, yes or no? And do you think we made a massive mistake of letting Rocco Vata's contract expire and actually never gave him any good first team opportunities, yes or no? Let me know your thoughts with regards to that situation. As always, drop a like on this video, and make sure you are subscribed to the channel as we try and get closer and closer to 8,000 subscribers. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.